Yo.
How's No Nut November going?
Yeah, it's going strong.
Oh, well, I guess that's good for spreading awareness.
You failed already, didn't you?
Yeah, man, I couldn't help it.
That's okay too, it's not that serious.
Doesn't that tell you something about yourself?
That I'm addicted to it because it gives me dopamine and I have no self-control.
Well, that escalated quickly.
You said it, not me, but the whole point of No Nut November is to teach yourself self-control by trying to avoid something that could be an addiction.
Whoa, bro boy. No. It's not that serious. It's actually used now to help raise awareness and funding for health issues related to prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and mental health in men.
I know, and I failed the test, man.
It's all good. Just start today and do it for 30 days consistently.
Who made this dude the boss of No Nut November?
You'll feel more driven, more clear mentally, more focused, and you'll have more energy.
This is all a lie. There is actually no scientific or medical evidence that says that not fapping will help your health in any way, shape, or form. Fap away, it's good for your health even today.
But how can I stay consistent with it?
Whenever you get the urge, do something to spend energy. Get on the floor and do some push-ups, go to the gym and work out, do an assignment that you have to do, or anything else.
Alright, day 1 starts today.
Alright, good luck, man.
Do men actually have conversations like this?
I appreciate it, bro. I'm definitely gonna follow you for more tips.
Yeah, I'm sure all those tips will help you get laid. There's no way that this conversation has ever actually happened. All of these people talk, but they're really spreading misinformation. And for some reason, these videos get so much attention and so many likes. But if you are a dude out there doing No Nut November, good luck, and I hope that you're doing it for the right reasons. Not because some bro boy told you that it would help give you more energy and help you get women.
I did no fap for a whole year, and I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be the most honest video you will see on this topic.
I'll be the judge of that. Hello, all of my fabulous, beautiful people, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you're all doing amazing. Yes, this stream was originally scheduled for tomorrow, but I have to be gone tomorrow, so I got plans, so I'm not going to be here. I won't be able to do the stream, so I'm doing it today. Yay, it's early this time. So today we are going to be talking about a new NoFap king that I have found for us. Not only is he a no-fap king, but he also really likes to give advice to young men, teenagers even, and he runs several businesses, which we are going to get into in just a moment. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. Joe says, attention, YouTube auto mods are in effect, so please watch the swearing. Yes, I don't care, but YouTube and Google care. So just watch that. Joe then has to approve all of the comments and it drives him insane. So don't make it so that poor Joe has to spend this whole stream approving comments, please. So the gentleman that we're going to be talking about today, his name is Pierre. I cannot say this name without my Montreal coming out. My French Canadian comes out when I say his name. His name is Pierre Dalati. Okay, and he's quite a big thing on here right now. So let's just get right into it. So, who is this Pierre Dalati? Yes, that's his name, Pierre Dalati. Who is this young man, and how come he doesn't have a fucking hand in this picture? I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I apologize. But this is the young man here today. You just saw me reacting to a short of his. And Pierre Dalati is a TikTok star. He was born on October 7th, 2001. He is 22 years old, and for all you ladies out there, he is a Libra, if that's something you're interested in. And yes, he is from Canada, here in Canada. And he's number 57,929 most popular on famousbirthdays.com, if that means anything to you at all. All of this came from famousbirthdays.com, which made me laugh because up until I was doing this video and randomly came across him, I didn't know he was famous. So, good old Pierre is a TikTok star that is known for his informative fitness videos. His videos are mostly filmed at home or in a park and include workout videos, tips and tricks, as in backflips and shit. He's a ninja, tutorials, and nutrition content. His Dalati Fitness TikTok has over 1.8 million followers. Before fame, his first TikTok was posted. They're like, before fame, and then they're like, well, actually, he just posted TikTok. Who cares what he did before that, all right? His first TikTok was posted in April of 2020, and it features him doing a handstand challenge. On his Dalati YouTube account, he posted a video talking about his body transformation from the ages of 16 to 17 years old, which made me laugh a little bit because for all of those of us who have already gone through puberty 16 to 17 years ago, you know that usually men go through some kind of growth spurt between 16 and 18. All right. The women, us women, we come to school in like grade 11 and all of a sudden they're all taller than us. So like he was going to probably go through a body transformation then anyway. That's how the world works. He posts more workout content and informative videos about bodybuilding on his Dalati Fitness Instagram and his Dalati YouTube account than he does on TikTok, they mean. He also works as a personal trainer and sells his workout program on his Dalati Fit app website. And it's funny because for family life, they're like, he was born in Canada. Yeah, no, that's it. That's all you need to know. He's Canadian, eh? All right. Now, I'm not sure if we claim him yet. I'll let you know by the end of the video. On his LinkedIn, he has quite a lot going on. But he definitely does have a link in, and there he is. Good old Pierre Dalati. And on there, it states that he went to McMaster University and he got his bachelor's degree in economics just this year. Yes, apparently he began this in 2019 and he graduated 2023. Congratulations on graduating university. Yay! He's a college-educated, university-educated young lad. But there's a little bit more that it says on his LinkedIn. His LinkedIn is unlike any of the other social medias that he has, and it tends to discuss a whole brand new business. So just hold that thought for a minute. Just hold that thought. Because I want to just take a moment and just show you a little bit more about him before we get into all of that. So this here is his YouTube. As you can see, he has 406,000 subscribers. He has 531 videos. And his little banner here says, "Your potential is limitless. Unlock it." And most of the videos that he posts are very, very similar to the ones that he posts on other social media platforms. You know, such as his Instagram. As you can see on his Instagram, it says that he does self-improvement, health, inspo, and he leaves his TikTok where he's like, yeah, I got 1.8 million. Yeah, I'm famous. Woohoo! His YouTube, and he, of course, talks about his Dalati Fitness business. And again, it posts all of the same stuff. In fact, across all of his social medias, including if you go on over to his TikTok account, he is pretty much posting the exact same videos all over the place. Except his TikTok makes me laugh because he has easy to learn skills. And then he has backflip around the world, where allegedly he's just backflipping in different places. We'll get into him and his backflips soon. He has tips and tutorials, dumbbell workouts, HIIT workouts, Super Cyan workouts. I'm not really sure what that is. Sounds fun. And then home workouts. And he's also all about telling young men that they need to work out in order to really be successful in life in every way, shape, or form. And that's pretty much what he does out here. So far, that is. That's just all the information that we can find out about exactly who he is as a lovely little person. Yeah, so one of the major things that he is quote unquote famous, I guess you could say, for is these short form videos. And, that's what they post on TikTok. That's what does really well on Instagram. Even, if you keep it under like 5 minutes, your videos do a lot better on Instagram. So he's known for doing these short videos. So let's take a look at some together. The first one we're going to look at today is called 3 Habits All Teens Must Do. Hey, Devil, good to see you.
I did as a teenager that set me up for my 20s.
Now, see, he's only 22 years old. So I just want to put it, I'm not saying he's a creep. Okay, I want to say that right off the bat. I am not here to talk about how he's talking to teenagers and how that might be creepy in some way. That's not the angle I am going with at all. He is not in any way, shape, or form, from anything I can find, predatory in that way whatsoever. He's 22, and therefore the advice that he can give to young people is going to, of course, be from when he was in his teens and when he was like 20, 21. You know what I mean? That's what he has to pull off. That's not what I'm worried about when it comes to the young people. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I really don't think he's about that. But hey, if something pops up later on, I'll let you know. What I'm more worried about, as we know, if you welcome to my channel, if you're brand new here, but if you're not new here, you know that I'm really kind of worried about this dating hustle culture, if you will, that's put out here that young men are then kind of picking up on because it gives awful fucking advice and is not at all how the world actually is. And I'm worried that that's going to warp the young minds of today. That's why I don't like these videos made to teenagers.
One is working out. I started working out when I was 16 years old, and that was all because of a little reality check where I realized that I have this body with unlimited potential, yet I'm not actively trying to achieve this potential that I have.
Why is this child giving me life advice? Exactly. Like, it is kind of funny. But one of his big things, as always, goes back to working out. And it's like, yeah, okay, working out is a great thing. Yes, it makes you healthy. It's good for you. But not everybody works out, okay? That lifestyle is not for everybody. So it's like, are young men less of a man because they don't work out? Like, do you know what I'm saying? He kind of puts it out there that if you're not waking up every day at dawn to go to a gym as a young man, then you're failing at life. And it's like, that's not a thing.
I picked up a workout routine, I started following it daily, and here I am 5 years later at 21 years old.
And he's giving us no FAP advice. It's like, are you doing much better though?
So much better physically and mentally. Number 2 is spending time with people. Because as a teenager, like many other teenagers, I loved being alone.
I did not like being alone as a teenager. Maybe I was weird. But I was like always out, always going to people's houses and parties and whatever I could do to leave my house. Apparently teenagers today, though, are all homebodies.
But you need that balance, and connections is something that you can.
Joe says, I never worked out. My jobs have been physical. And see, that's the thing, right? Like, if you do have a physical job, you're probably not going to wake up and go to the gym first. Do you need to? So it's like that wake up, go to the gym life can be a great, healthy lifestyle. It's just not for everybody. And that's kind of the issue with hustle culture in itself, is a lot of times it promotes the whole fitness thing.
Carry on for the rest of your life. Number 3 is working on developing my passions as a teenager. Because as a teenager, you have the most valuable thing on your side, which is time. And if you use this time wisely in order to put your energy and your efforts into things that you are passionate about, by the time you get into your 20s, you'll have learned, you'll have grown, and you'll have developed so much within this one.
Oh, but wait until you get into your 30s. And then your 40s, how much you will have learned and grown.
And passion, which can eventually turn into a career at an early age.
Now, again, this advice alone, by itself, like if you just came across this video, it's like, okay, that's not the worst advice to give young people, right? We could do a lot worse. It's just, that's his content. All of his videos have this same buzz. Here's one called 3 Traits Making You Unattractive.
That would make someone unattractive. There's a few, but I'll tell you the 3 main ones.
So apparently men on the street will just walk up to each other and randomly ask for advice.
Sure to save this. Number 1 is extreme self-obsession, just constantly bragging about your achievements, having a big ego, etc. But
it's funny coming from him, as you're going to find out as we go along.
Isn't it good to appreciate things in your life? Absolutely, but there's a very fine line between self-love and appreciation versus self-obsession. Self-love is simply for you. You're grateful for the things in your life. However, when you have self-obsession, it's fueled by ego. And it's not just about you anymore, it's the need for others' validation. That makes
Which is why you have a YouTube channel.
sense, and others can see right through that. Yeah, for sure. Number 2 is insecurity.
Right.
Damn, why? When someone has no self-esteem, it can affect their behavior and their character. For example, if you're in a relationship and your partner is constantly telling you how you're too good for them, eventually you'll believe them despite how many positive qualities they have.
That was a weird example from a 22-year-old.
That's true, because it relates to self-confidence. What about number 3? Belittling others in their absence. Yeah, because people can definitely assume that you do the same behind their back. Exactly. Good conversation, bro. I'm definitely going to follow you for more. Yo, Pierre, what are some
So one thing you're going to notice about his videos is that, especially with his shorts, not his long videos, which we're going to look at later, don't you worry. But with his shorts, he has this whole thing where he plays 2 people. It's all very oddly specific. And it all starts as if somebody's walking up to him on the street and like knows who he is and says, "Hey, Pierre, let me ask you for some advice on how to live better," because they know who he is, right? But then at the end of the video, the person always says, which is him pretending to be somebody else, right? "Oh man, I'm going to follow you for more." And I can't help but laugh because I'm like, why were you approaching him on the street if you weren't already following him and knew who he was? I don't think that's how men get advice from people. Like, at all. You know what I mean? It's just kind of weird. And then we get into some of the fun stuff. Like, desexualizing your brain is a cheat code, in which he uses gamer language for his promoting, if you will. That's what I'll call it.
My brain is a cheat code. How is that?
So a guy just walks up to a guy on the street, and he's like, "Yo, bro, what's up? I heard that, I got desexualized my mind for a cheat code." And I'm like, no men in the history of the entire world have ever had this conversation. I don't know why this is even coming up in a video. It's just a very odd thing to me.
I mean, with social media, music, television, it's over-sexualized our brain to the point where we don't have control anymore. So
That's the one I got a problem with. So a lot of these incels in the no-fat movement have this idea that men are complete animals with no self-control, and that even like seeing something slightly sexual, they're just going to turn into like a fapping beast. They won't be able to contain themselves. They gotta go release it. And it's like, that's not how men are. It's the whole like crazy SJW feminists saying that all men believe in rape culture, okay? It's equivalent to that. It's like, no, men can control themselves, okay? They're not uncontrollable beasts that cannot see anything sexual, or else they turn into the Hulk needing to fap. Like, that's not a thing. And to kind of like tell young people, like, oh, men, they lose control. Oh, they have no control over themselves. It's funny because he also gives them a lot of advice about self-control. So it's like, which one is it? And he's like, oh, but you don't have self-control, but if you do my courses, then you learn it, right?
What should I do about it? First things first is to understand how it affects you. How does it affect me? When you're watching that type of content consistently and you're doing your thing, you're chasing
What's doing your thing? What's that mean?
dopamine, but you're getting it from a low effort action. So what's the alternative? Well, dopamine should be a reward system you get from doing high effort actions. You work out, you're pursuing a goal, and you're hitting milestones. You're going out in the real world, you're meeting girls with the risk of getting rejected. Makes sense. It's something that becomes so easy to do with such high pleasure that it literally controls the mind. Exactly. Okay,
well, this guy looks like he already had it all figured out.
So how can I become sexually disciplined to avoid distractions and benefit my life?
So do you see what the way that it's portrayed here is like sex is just coming at him from all angles, and it's all going to distract him because he's such an uncontrolling beast that just the littlest mention of sex or vision of a girl's cleavage is going to turn him into this monster. So he needs to self-control himself, all right, and get self-control over this crazy addiction to sex, right? And sexualizing everything. And it's like, no, men don't work like that. All right? If you are a man like that, then you might actually have something wrong with you. Please go see a doctor.
Number one is to simply limit your consumption of that content because it creates such an unrealistic approach to reality and affects the way you act. Got it. What else? Start pursuing credible goals that require more action from your end. Like I said, you work out, you're growing a business, you're going out in the real world and
he mentions a lot working out and growing businesses, you'll notice. That's apparently the answer to everything manly. You just gotta work out and start a business, and that will apparently fix your whole life.
Meeting new people. Yes, it requires more effort, but it'll have a greater benefit on your brain, the way you act, your confidence level, and my discipline. Exactly.
Yeah, because you have to discipline yourself to not want sex, because men are all just these sex-craved monsters. And if they don't actively discipline themselves to not be distracted, they'll just go around sexualizing everything. Oh my God, it will be awful. And then we get into, here's why being silent is attractive. Now, this one bothers me because men in our world are already told to stay silent enough about things. Okay? There aren't advocacy groups as much out here for men like there are for women. All right. So men are already told not to speak out, and that they're speaking out too much already. Okay. They've controlled the world. Their voices have been heard. It's time for them to shut the fuck up, especially the white cisgendered ones. They better also shut up. It's time for everybody else to talk and for everybody else to be advocated for. Okay. And that's kind of the way that society views men right now. And it's sad to me, with that going on in society, to then have somebody that's out here and they want to be a role model for young men make a video actually called "Here's Why Being Silent is Attractive." Like, I'm like, because men need other men now to also tell them to be silent at any time. You know, it just sits weird with me.
An attractive trait. It can be, but there's a very fine line. What's the line? There's people that are silent not by choice, because they're shy or they're socially anxious, which shows a lack of confidence. Okay, so
fair. I don't think it's fair fair to say that everybody that's like shy or has social anxiety doesn't have confidence. Social anxiety is an issue all on its own. It can be a mental health issue all on its own that has nothing to do with your confidence. You could be very, very confident, but then when you go out in public and you're around crowds, all of a sudden you shut down because like being around people makes you shut down. You know, like that those two things don't necessarily coincide. Like they don't connect. One doesn't equate to the other. So I don't like that message. I really don't. Sometimes you just need to get the poison out and have some post-nut clarity. Sometimes. The strong silent type. Yeah, but that's the thing is that men are always told to be that kind, you know? So it's like, I don't know. I just don't think that men out here need a video telling them to be silent any more than they get from all of the feminists all over the internet every day. And like I said, this guy really is talking to the younger people, right? He's 22, so he's not older than us. He ain't talking to us. At least he better not be, okay? Or else I'm gonna be pissed. So he's obviously, as I've already showed you, a lot of his videos are geared towards teenagers, right? Or people like his age and under. So I'm just kind of like, let's not give the youth the message that they should be silent about anything at any time, no matter who they are.
What's a more attractive type? People that are silent by choice. You see, they're confident in themselves. They have no problem speaking up in a group setting, but they might choose not to because they rather listen or they have nothing to add to.
Now, the funny thing about this is that the people that are on the outside of being this person would have no clue how to tell the difference.
The conversation. How does that make them more attractive? Let me put it in perspective for you. Someone that talks all the time, it gets a little bit annoying. Their words go into one ear and out the other, because the more words you say, the less value your words have.
Why do you make your videos so fucking wordy then, dude?
So the less words someone says, the more value their words have. Exactly. You become more scarce and people will be more interested in what you have to say because number one, you took the time to listen to them, and number two, you spoke up confidently when needed. I appreciate the advice, bro. I'm definitely going to follow you for more tips.
I appreciate the advice. I'm definitely going to follow you for more tips, even though I approached you by name out on the street. So I should have already been following you and known who you were. It's just not necessarily true. And the thing is, if you're in a group setting, if you have two men in a group setting, okay, and one of them is doing what this guy says to do, where you're choosing to be silent, and another one is being silent because he's shy or has social anxiety, the rest of the people in that group are barely going to be able to tell the difference. Unless the person with social anxiety is showing like nonverbal traits that they're anxious, they look the exact same, dude. There'd be no difference to the rest of the people in the group. So that one was weird to me. I was like, I don't like that message, and hopefully people just like ignore it. And then we have some fun stuff, like when that 2 a.m. motivation hits, baby. Huh, huh, hey. Yeah. Whoa! Oh my god, he's so tough! Did you guys see that? I was watching TikTok and he gets motivation. And then he turned into the Hulk. And I'm like, okay, that was a lot of toxic masculinity in one video to unpack. Remember I told you he likes to do backflips around the world? Well, don't worry, because he gives you advice here on how you too could do a backflip all around the world.
Backflip so bad. I'll teach you in under a minute. Make sure to save this. Start by simply...
Teach you in under a minute. Make sure to save this. He's got a little bit of an ego, thinking he can teach anyone how to do anything in under a minute. I'm just saying.
Practicing your jump because it's the first step of the movement. Easy enough? Good. Now put your...
Okay, but how does doing a backflip help you be a better person and run that business and get the girl?
Arms into it, but really emphasize it. There you go. Now at the top of the movement, tuck your legs in. Okay. Yo, I'm ready. I'm gonna do it. Oh, relax. You're looking good, but you're not there yet.
You guys are taking notes, right?
Oh, my bad. Next, practice a bridge. It doesn't have to be the cleanest, but just get the idea of going backwards.
No, don't do this under a bridge. Oh, wait, he means do that bridge. Oh, okay.
Now, once you feel comfortable, start trying to rotate back on one arm like this.
Okay.
There you go. As you get more comfortable, make the angle higher and higher. Eventually, you'll get to a point where you're basically doing a back handspring.
Okay.
Yo, I'm right there. Nice, bro. Now, if you're ready, go straight back for the back handspring. All right, let's go. I got this. There you go. Now put everything together, commit, and go for the back flip.
Okay.
Yo, let's go. I'm definitely following you for more tips, bro. Thank you.
I'm definitely following you for more tips, bro. Thank you. You just taught me. We met out on the street in someone's backyard. And you just taught me how to do a backflip. That was crazy. And I watched this and I was like, now, what is the point of this? I know he has this whole, like, I do a backflip and all over the world thing. But I think he just wanted to show us all that he can do backflips more. I mean, unless he's doing backflip challenges, which you'll find out about his challenges in a moment, I don't understand why anyone else had to learn how to do his backflips. He also gives us advice on how to get in shape within 90 days, which I do have to say is a lot longer than a lot of the other businesses I've covered.
Here are 3 things I do to get in shape with
Yeah, you heard that right. Let's listen to it again.
shape, but if I was...
Oop. Rewind, damn it!
I'm not out of shape, but if I was... Here...
I'm not out of shape. I'm not out of shape. But if I was, you know, does he want to join the Canadian Olympic team? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, that's all that would be good for.
There are 3 things I do to get in shape within 90 days. Number 1 is to determine your goal, whether you want to lose weight and fat or gain weight and muscle. Then you Google search calorie maintenance calculator. You input all your information and you'll get your calorie maintenance. This is the amount of calories you need to eat.
A little dangerous to count calories. It can actually lead to eating disorders. Men also have eating disorders. I know it's not talked about often. Welcome to November, the month of men. Men can also get eating disorders. So, and that's the weird thing, is that whole gym fitness thing a lot of times does tell men to count calories and all that. Yeah, that leads to eating disorders in men. A lot of men have eating disorders and don't even realize it because they think they're just gym maxing the whole time.
Daily to maintain your weight. If you want to gain weight, you eat 300 calories above that daily. And to lose weight, you eat 300 calories below that maintenance daily. Number 2, get a workout routine that aligns with your goals and stay consistent to it. Very simple but effective one is push, pull, legs, cardio, rest, and then you repeat it. And make sure each workout lasts between 45 minutes to an hour and you're not resting too long between each set. And number 3 is your nutrition, about 80% of your results. We talked about the calories in the first point, but what's going to make up these calories? Eat simple carbs, healthy fat, and for your protein, you want to be eating about 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight every day. This will allow you to either build muscle if you're trying to bulk up or maintain your muscle mass if you're trying to cut down and lose fat. That's it. Make sure to save and try this.
Yeah, guys, make sure to save and try this. From the fitness king over here. He promises that he knows everything that you should do to be healthy in your life. I know he's only 22, but he has been around. Now, of course, we're going to get to what everyone's over here and that you've all been waiting for. My favorite short of his, which is called, Does No Fat Boost Testosterone? Does it?
Testosterone levels, so I can't really tell you firsthand if...
Bruh. Listen, bruh. You mean to tell me that you did this whole no fat thing and you planned to do a video about testosterone levels and no fat, and you couldn't even measure your levels? You put so much work into it. Good for you. Good job, Pierre.
They went up, down, stayed neutral, I don't know. But what I can say is that the effects and the benefits I noticed are similar to increased testosterone.
Okay, we're gonna get into that. Don't you worry.
Energy, increased focus, increased mental clarity, increased productivity. And also when I was working out, I was able to do so many more reps and work out for so much longer than I would before.
Okay, so he claims that no fap gave him more energy, more motivation. He was able to do more things. A lot of different claims. And he's pretty into the no fap stuff, as you're about to find out. But one of the things that you keep hearing about is how he works out. And you see, that's because our boy runs a fitness business. Oh, yes. Just like the title of the stream is, Dalati Fitness. He runs a whole fitness business, which maybe explains why a lot of his advice has to do with working out or doing backflips all over the place. Without further ado, let me introduce you to his business. Dalati Fit. Train for strength, performance, and aesthetics. Start 7-day free trial. Start your journey today. Welcome to Dalati Fit. I believe that the optimal body is a combination of aesthetics, performance, strength, and control. I've helped 1,000 plus individuals across the world achieve their optimal body, and now it's your turn. Start 7-day free trial. Programs you'll get. Firstly, is your goal to lose weight, build muscle, unlock your body's potential? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then this program is for you. What you'll get: 5-week at-home workout programs, the Bodyweight Pro Volume 1, most popular, 8-week hybrid builder program, how to handstand, 4-week push-up challenge, mentality zone. Your mental strength is just as important. Our 7-day free trial, 5 stars. 2nd week starting off with the intense workout. Thanks, man. Fire, muscle, godly workout. 5 stars. Chest is dead. Shoulders dead. All I gotta say, absolutely fire, brother. 5 stars. Crazy pump after this hard workout. Can wait to do the rest of the week. 5 stars. Last one is absolutely amazing. You're a genius. Thanks as always. 5 stars. Really effective back exercises. 5 stars. The reps make it so much harder. Great workout. 5 stars. Coaching community. Get one-on-one coaching from Pierre.
I did no fap for a whole year.
Ask me questions directly on the app, share your progress with me, and receive feedback. Offer suggestions to help improve your experience. Our 7-day free trial. Nutrition guides. Learn how to split your meals in order to eat what you want, when you want, while still achieving your fitness goals. Weekly nutritional videos. What I personally eat and how I split my meals. Supplements, suggestions, and discounts. Calorie maintenance calculator. Our 7-day free trial. This is me before when I was a little bitch, and this is me after as a gigachad.
I did no fap for a whole year.
Bonjour, Pierre. Pierre Dalati. My name is Pierre Dalati, and I love working out to feel good physically and mentally, but it wasn't always that way. As me before, when I was 15 years old, when I was a little bitch, I got my first gym membership at the YMCA, and believe it or not, I didn't enjoy going to the gym at all, and ended quitting after a few weeks. To me, going to the gym and working out with the same machines was boring, and you might be feeling the same way. Fast forward a year to the summer of 2017. The gigachad. I'm 16 years old, decided to sign up for a gym membership and give it another go. Gigachad. This time around, I wanted to find motivation so that I stay consistent while working out. For the first 3 weeks, it was hard. I would have to push myself to go to the gym every day and to do my workouts, although I didn't really want to. I knew I couldn't continue this way, and then I'd end up quitting like I did the year before. Little bitch, if I didn't find a solution. Eventually, I realized that as humans, we have the desire to do things that we enjoy and that make us happy. So, I use that same concept towards working out. One day, I saw a guy at my gym doing handstand push-ups, and it clicked. That's what I want to do. That's when I came across calisthenics and bodyweight training. being able to take my body's potential to the next level, doing handstand push-ups, bag flips, and etc. I'm a fucking ninja, dude. That's the type of athleticism I wanted. Ever since then, I love working out. I see my body as a vessel that can be upgraded continuously and that has unlimited potential. Get started now. 7-day free trial. Join now. Powered by Dalati Fit. There's an app that you can download. We have different challenges such as the push-up challenge. About the challenge. Join my 4-week push-up challenge to get in shape before summertime. You'll have guided push-up workouts to follow on a day-to-day basis. With over 20 push-up variations, you'll build versatility, control, and strength. Winners of the challenge will win free supplements, memberships to my app, and a personal shout-out. Oh my god, yay, that's so great! I am so excited to join you on this challenge and to start our summers off right. Let's do this! It's almost December, dude. Join the push-up challenge now! What? You can win $200 of Legion supplements, protein, pre-workout, and etc. Free 1-year membership to Dalati Fit app. Shout-out on at Dalati Fitness Instagram. Join the push-up challenge now. To enter. Number 1, sign up for my app for just $1 here. Number 2, submit your before photo to challenge.dalati@gmail.com. Number 3, include an assessment video of your max push-ups before and after the challenge. Number 4, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Dalati Fitness. If you don't do all 4 of these steps, you won't enter, and you won't win, and you won't be strong, and you won't have muscles like me, and you'll never be a gigachad. Join the push-up challenge now. What you'll get: guided push-up workouts and progressions, nutrition guide to maximize results, one-on-one coaching from me, compete with other members of the challenge, including me, full premium access to my app and programs. Join the push-up challenge now. It was great. I really am looking forward to seeing results. 5 stars. It was amazing. I love everything about this app. Thank you. 5 stars. Too long, not gonna read. 5 stars. Can't breathe. Great, feel the burn, but also feels good. 5 stars. Join the push-up challenge now. Or before and after. Oh, never mind, it's the same one. Little bitch. You should do push-ups. There's a reason push-ups are used as the primary exercise to evaluate someone's strength and health. To join the military, you need to pass a push-up test. To become a cop, you need to pass a push-up test. Even in gym class at school, you get evaluated by doing push-ups. Why push-ups? It's because push-ups are the only exercise you can do anywhere, and that uses every muscle group in your body, primarily muscles for pushing, secondary muscles for stabilization. Also, the only exercise that optimizes body weight strength, resistance strength. At the same time, it also improves your agility, coordination, flexibility, and core strength, which is why you see many martial arts incorporate push-ups. Yeah, that's right, I'm a ninja. There are also 100+ push-up variations, allowing you to progress as you get stronger. For example, a beginner push-up variation would be knee push-ups, and an advanced variation would be handstand push-ups. And you can do numerous variations in between to work your way up. So that being said, start leveling up your push-up game and become a versatile athlete. Join the push-up challenge now. Powered by Dalati Fit. So I guess the only real challenge, even though it says it plural, is the push-up challenge. And programs is also plural, but there's really only one. The 5-week body weight builder program. Regular $40. It's on sale for 50% off, baby. Woo woo. Body Weight Pro 5-week program. Build strength, aesthetics, and performance with calisthenics, bodyweight training, progressions for all levels, beginner, intermediate, advanced. Follow along videos for each exercise, workout descriptions, and explanations. Free nutrition guide you will follow daily with meal recommendation and quantities to best leverage your fitness goals. There are more than one? Add to cart!
What's up is down, what's left is right.
And unfortunately, there's no reviews yet. You could do this program and be the first to review it. So other than the things that are on his website, DalatiFit.com, are these Amazon links to these different products. We have the full-size pull-up bar, the doorway pull-up bar, which I hear sucks. workout rings, resistance bands, parallettes, and dumbbells, all with an Amazon link, which would be another way that he makes his money by doing the Amazon affiliate program. So if you buy these, yep, he gets something for it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is DalatiFit.com, the entire website, everything that he has to offer besides his advice and the no fap stuff.
I did no fap.
Start a 7-day free trial. And now, back to the live stream.
You need breath mints.
Little bitch. Tiny Dinger Condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Do you think women lie about being sexually assaulted? Do you use your community like a dating app but only date women in other countries but flirt with other women the entire time? Then leave that e-girlfriend for another woman with a My Little Pony fetish that ends up being a dude who's catfishing you for 6 years as a sexy woman? Do you then post lolly of bubbles in your Discord after making sexual cartoons involving minors and claim you are not a nunce? Do you think Onision is innocent? Then we have the brand for you. You won't need to make Sims characters out of your community members anymore and impregnate them in some weird fetish game, or date men who love My Little Pony and the Powerpuff Girls when you have Tiny Dinger Condoms. Heck, you won't even need to wank it to Faith Vickers and Ethan Ralph's porn anymore. Bet you'll soon make your own with that sexy woman or man, you know, the one who loves the Powerpuff Girls there. Just turn on the webcam and show that real live e-girl from OnlyFans, who I'm sure loves you just as much, that Tiny Dinger, and let her know that you use Tiny Dinger condoms. The condoms that won't let your manliness hide when a man wants to come and do the anal slip and slide. Located at the CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, all of your local pharmacy brands, and hidden in your favorite streamer's nightstand, because don't worry, they're all the same. No more desperation with those condoms. Now, back to our video. So one of the things about the Dalati Fitness website that I want to say is, I don't know if you noticed, but while I was going through the website, in the bottom left corner, every second it pops up this pop-up that says, this person just joined and that person just joined. Like some guy from Belgium joined 4 times while I was recording that little video. And so you get him, devil's advocate, you go tell him no. So basically, like, it's the most annoying pop-up in the entire world. And he needs to know, get that fucking pop-up off of your page. I felt like I was on an unpassive website and it pissed me off. But yes, that was the entire Dalati Fitness business website, if you will. But remember, I told you that that wasn't the only business he had, and I said, we're going to get into his LinkedIn. Hold that thought. Well, so there's actually another business. Yes, so if you go on to his LinkedIn page, you'll be met with this. Pierre Dalati, the LinkedIn. His About section reads, I am a young and driven social media marketing specialist, founder of Greenly Media. My goal is to help leverage online brands, businesses, as well as e-commerce stores. Amongst the hundreds of brands we have worked with on Instagram, we have grown over 1 million followers. We do this by redirecting traffic from targeted celebrities or influencers that we have in our network. I bet he's a member of Andrew Tate's The Real World, probably. Explains why he got an econ degree. Exactly, right? Because we were like, what's he doing with that econ? Then you start reading, you go, oh. Which I was going to bring up again anyway. So yes, you remember he got the degree in economics this year from McMaster University, and that is listed on his LinkedIn public. And then you can go and you can check out the Greenly Media LinkedIn. They say, specializing in social media growth, brand awareness, and lead generation. And this guy is from Toronto, Ontario. It's like a younger version of Roxo if he didn't turn into a gun cell and was just a fitness king incel instead. I was like, craziness. So it says here that there's 5 followers of this on LinkedIn and that this business allegedly has 2 to 10 employees. The overview on LinkedIn reads, Greenlee Media is a marketing/advertising agency. We scale businesses worldwide in order to increase ROI leads and overall outreach. We do this at half the cost of traditional marketing strategies while providing double the results. And that's what every single business like this that I cover on my channel says. There's been dozens upon dozens. This is not that much different from what On Passive wishes they were doing. Servicing over 400 plus satisfied clients, we've applied the best methods to market brands in each industry. Like all the industries. I don't think you understand how many industries there actually are. It's impossible. I doubt he did. Our goal is to market your brand differently in order to stand out against your competitors and reach your target audience. Why was that 2 separate sentences? I don't know. Apparently, they do brand deals better than they do grammar spell check. We work with you and rather not for you. This connection allows us to leverage your business goals. And of course, they leave the website, the phone number, which, okay, and they say that the industry is advertising services. Again, they have 2 to 10 employees, and the headquarters is in Toronto, Ontario. And we're going to go and we're going to check out this business here in a second. I think we should check out the website, and I think our dude here should be a little worried, because it's not the greatest website I've ever seen. But this is like a social media business that he's running, which then it makes more sense as to why he keeps telling everyone in the advice to work out, use his fitness stuff, and then also create their own businesses, right? Because he keeps saying, create your own business, create your own business. And I kept going, why is it so important to him that all of these young people become entrepreneurs? And then we get to this. And look, you get 10% off. Yay! Greenlee Media. This is the website here. Hey, a phone number is better than On Passive. That's true. They don't even have a phone number or customer service or everything. Yes, everything is over market value. So as you can see, they say number 1 Instagram growth service. Our Instagram growth service provides you with everything you're looking for. 1,000 plus guaranteed followers per month or money back. Sir, are you selling followers on Instagram? So you sell followers on Instagram, and then I'm supposed to believe that all 1.8 million of yours on TikTok and elsewhere are legit? Activate and targeted followers. No password needed. And I was like, that's a little sus. How our Instagram growth service works. Our unique process. Number 1, analyze. We take the time to analyze your Instagram account and to understand your target audience based on political identity politics, gender, age, demographic, and location. Then they say they promote. We promote your Instagram account on top-tier celebrity and influencer pages that suit you best in order to redirect thousands of active followers. Imagine being promoted on @JamieFoxx. Well, we've made that happen. Okay, do you have proof? No? Oh, okay. Number 3 is growth. Our growth service is done automatically and organically. That's what they all say. No such thing as organically. When you're in a service like this, it's all fake bots. And I'm going to say it every single time I come across one of these. Human trafficking is illegal. You cannot human traffic people to people's websites. You can, however, market a lot to people and then hope that they click, but that's not what they're saying here because they're guaranteeing followers. That means they're bots. None of them are organic. To save you time while providing you with outstanding results that will benefit your active following count, engagement ratio, and ROI. Why do thousands of Instagrammers choose Greenly Media? Because they're all fake bitches? Like, guaranteed results, no password required, and no bots. Get started now. And then they say 1,000 plus people have taken action this month, and they show like the before and after pics of people's accounts. Again, though, the after is going to be all fake. Are we fapping in here? They're all going to be fake. So, like, at the 3,000 followers that guy had, they were real, but now he's up to 11, and it's like, no. Then they'd bring up this poor girl. She's a travel enthusiast who has grown her account by 40,000 plus organic followers using our Instagram growth service. This has increased her credibility in the industry, allowing her to make brand deals and partnerships. I would be embarrassed. If anyone ever put me on one of these, I would jump off my balcony, okay? Because, like, what a way to be like, yeah, this girl bought a bunch of followers. And now she's using these fake followers to be a fake bitch in her industry and get sponsorship deals and money. Professional grifter, everyone. Look at that. It's like, what the fuck? That's not good. Then they lie to you and they say Instagram is currently the social power of the century. That's not true. They're actually saying that most people are not using Facebook or Instagram. It's now called like Meta. Now the company's name is Meta that runs them all. And a lot of people have actually been falling off of them. So Facebook and Instagram are doing the worst right now than they have ever done in the history of their existence. Part of that is due to TikTok coming out, and part of it is due to Mark Zuckerberg losing the trust of people and the securities breaches that have happened via the Facebook stuff. If you guys haven't heard, they've had all kinds of bullshit with that, right? So due to all of that, they're actually falling off. People are thinking that in another 10 years, Instagram and Facebook might not be a thing, which is why Mark Zuckerberg right now is so into doing the metaverse shit. He needs a new thing. He's a bot. He can only work on technology in his life. Otherwise, he's not happy. He's fed with ones and zeros. Okay? So that's all like gonna disappear probably one day. So I think it's funny that they said this. I was like, that ain't true. And if you study social media at all, you know that ain't true. This is a no-fap zone. Joe's like, shit, I'll put it away. Sorry. 30% of Instagram accounts are proven to be bots. Yeah, I'd believe that numbers. And like I said, it's not the social power of the century. It was going to be along with Facebook, but with all the security breaches and everything going on, it's not. With over 1 million users on the platform, as you just said, a good third of them being bots, you can significantly leverage your personal account or brand, no matter what industry you are in or who your target audience is. Which, again, it never matters with these companies because they just give you fake bots. So, like, it doesn't even target an audience. On Instagram, you can reach the right people with the right help. Then they're like, who uses it? And I'm like, nobody? I've never heard of this until now, but go off, little no-fap king. Influencers, agencies, and managers, business and brands. And they keep saying thousands are using this. And I'm like, is this why we have so many of these damn fake people? But the best is the frequently asked questions, because we get to, will I receive bot followers? You will not receive bot or inactive followers. We believe in Instagram organic growth, and that is what we will deliver. Then you cannot guarantee it. You have the choice in one of these businesses, okay? You either actually do real marketing, in which you are doing what you claim here, in which case you cannot guarantee a certain number of followers ever per month or anything. Because there's no way to know if it actually is organic, right? But if you're not doing it organically, and you know that you can definitely get someone 2,000 bots a month, then you can say it. So they have to pick, okay? Because you can't be like, I'm doing this organically, none of them are bots, but we guarantee you 2,000 a month, minimum. That's a lie. You cannot do that. No, I didn't call you Joe. So I think it's funny whenever they put this in a frequently asked question. It's always the first one on these websites. And yeah, they're bots, okay? Because you can't. Not only will the followers be real and active, but they will also be targeted based on the demographic you're looking to reach. Then you don't need something like this. Just saying. Will I get banned? Which I'm like, why would you get banned if they're not doing bot followers? Why is that even a question? That's weird. Impossible. Impossible. This is the #1 Instagram complaint growth service, given that login credentials are not required for this service. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't have anything to do with banning. What? Additionally, we redirect followers organically from a celebrity that suits your account best. And then I'm like, wait, is that why you mentioned Jamie Foxx? How does this service work? The celebrity or viral influencer you choose, weird, will post a shout out on their Instagram feed and stories. In order for their followers to win the specified prize, they must follow the sponsor, you, who is on the follow list. And then you're like, but I'm not offering a prize. Wait, what's happening here? This immediately brings thousands of organic traffic sources to your page, brand, business. Unlike traditional single shoutout advertisement, with our method, you are able to retarget your thousands of new views. Which that sounds lovely, doesn't it? How to target people one-on-one. How long does it take to see results? Once you get started with one of our Instagram growth packages, of course, your Instagram account manager will be in touch within 24 hours to get you started. Then they do this little chart of Instagram statistics, which is bullshit. And then they have previous celebrity campaigns. They claim that they work with these celebrities to get these celebrities to shout people out. And then that is how you get your Instagram growth. With our network, we have access to 110 million plus active followers. We will gain you thousands of targeted followers a month through celebrity promotions and giveaways. And I'm like, okay, so if you're doing this, you have to be an influencer that then would have something to give away, right? Whether you're looking to reach an audience by demographic or location, such as US based, we got you covered. We will promote your Instagram account under a celebrity promotion that suits your account best. Wink. I don't know if that's the place to put a wink, I feel like it just lied to me and then winked at me. Our growth method is done organically. They keep saying this, and I'm like, no, stop it. In order to leverage your Instagram presence while keeping your account safe and secure, which is why we will never ask for your password or login information. Let's build your Instagram presence. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, of course, the next question becomes, how much does it cost? Well, that's where we have a problem. This here is the price. Oh, but don't worry, remember you get 10% off. Look at this! Look at this! US silver, $117 a month. With that one, you're guaranteed 1,000 active followers a month, USA celebrity partnerships, dedicated account manager, and 24/7 support. Usually it's $210 a month, allegedly. Usually these websites lie about the regular price to make it look like you're getting a deal, even though you're not. I can't say this one is for sure. Usually that's what happens over here. US gold is regular $470, but you can get it for $350 a month. 2,000 to 3,000 active followers a month. USA celebrity partnerships, dedicated account manager, and 24/7 support. Not much more than the silver. US platinum is usually $850 per month. This is per month, but you're getting it for $677 per month. And my whole thing is, honestly, if you need to buy this, you're not making enough as an influencer to pay for these programs. With the platinum, you get 4,000 to 6,000 active followers a month, USA celebrity partnerships, a dedicated account manager, and 24/7 support. So you'll notice the only thing that's different is the number of active followers a month you can get. And in order for them to give a real number, like I keep stating, it would have to be bots. There's no other way. You cannot guarantee this organically. Literally, that's not a thing. So then they have diamond. And yes, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Queen, these levels sound like MLM Hun levels. And you're right, they do. I think they're supposed to. With the diamond, it's $1,600 a month. $1,177 a month. Bitch, that's almost as much as my rent. Okay? My rent is only a few hundred more than that a month. To put a roof over my fucking head? What do you mean? He'll call when he's done with this workout. Yes. It's not even good. This isn't like crazy growth. Giving you an extra 2 or 3, 4 to 6, 8 to 10K. You're only getting an extra 10K in a month for over $1,000. That's ridiculous. This is the most expensive one I've seen on here ever. And I've covered a handful of these things that sell this. It's ridiculous. So again, the only difference is the active followers a month, which you get 8 to 10,000 with this one. And then you get all the same as the other packages. And in my personal opinion, none of this is worth the money that he's asking for. All right. They say US, UK, or global based, but I don't see, like, I'm figuring US silver, like, that means you're getting US followers. So I don't see it listed, like, for prices for any other place. Until you go down here, you go to global pricing. Okay? So you have to go all the way down and click. But it looks the exact same. And I still end up confused. Because I'm like, okay, well, wouldn't global pricing, like, do you not have, like, Canada silver? Hey? EU platinum? UK gold? Like, what's that about, you know? So, I don't know. It looks like these 4 packages are the only 4 that they do. As you can see, they do other services such as Instagram engagement, which is basically what we were looking at, influencer marketing, mass DM for Instagram, which everyone likes it when they get constant cold call DMs. Yeah, no, they love that on Instagram. And then media placement, which this one's interesting to me. It says get featured on a professional scale. And they sell you being featured in one of these like online website magazines, okay? Apparently you can buy this. So it says, why does my brand need media placement? Digital media placement, aka digital PR, is the perfect way to establish brand credibility, leverage, awareness, and exposure. It is a great strategy to control your brand's first impression by conveying the proper message to your consumer the first time they come into contact with you. Similar to social media, digital PR allows a brand to strategically curate a story, message, or presence in a way that fulfills a certain end goal. You contact them to get started, okay? You click this. They don't really tell you how much it costs or anything. You just get a hold of them and then they'll contact you. I'm guessing that's because it depends on which publication you want to be featured in. A lot of the ones that they listed, unfortunately, are ones that people can buy. And this provides actually a very good question, okay? And that question is, do we want that? Do we want people that are running businesses to have the ability to buy the chance to be in articles so that it legitimizes these people and they can lie to us? I would much rather be an influencer out here, hated as I am for who I actually am, than be somebody who pays for some article in a magazine to paint me out as this perfect person that everyone should be following. And I know I fucking paid for it. I didn't earn it. And then I'm lying to everyone, like, come get my merch or whatever I'm selling, okay? For me, that fakeness and that deception to consumers is a problem. Because consumers depend on these types of publications to legitimize corporations. It's just like when On Passive was paying to be in the Hyderabad articles, okay? I have an issue with it, as we know. I hate it. It's not fair. It's an unethical business practice to me. You're lying about your legitimacy. You're lying to gain people's trust. And you're lying to get your brand known. Wouldn't you rather like just work really, really hard and do it all yourself instead of like pretending? You know what I mean? But unfortunately, we live in a time in which in our world, it's more about popularity and looking good, fake it till you make it, than it is about actually making it. Which is funny considering who runs that website. It's Pierre Dalati. Okay? So he's on there doing this. All right? And his whole thing is like work on yourself, but then at the same time, he's selling this fake shit so that someone wouldn't have to do the work on their own. Right? They're taking that cheat, that game cheat, to look good. And I just don't think it's a good thing. But I think next what we should do is we should react to some of his longer form videos. They're a bit different than the shorts. He has a lot of awesome videos, and I've pulled a few today that I think will really show us who he is as a person and what he actually really believes in. The first one is going to be the one that pops up on his channel as soon as you go to it. A lot of us have a video that just automatically plays. It's supposed to kind of like show you who we are as a person. And this is one of his first videos called How Getting in Shape as a Man Changed My Life. And this, of course, is going to be the story of him going from that 16-year-old to that 17-year-old gigachad. You know?
As a vessel that has limitless potential and that can continuously be upgraded. And if I'm not capitalizing on what my body can do, then I'm wasting its potential. Now, this really clicked for me when I was 16 years old and I was in high school. I had a pretty average body, and this translated over to my lifestyle, making it average as well. Constantly eating junk food, wasting my time by mindlessly consuming content on.
It's funny to me because he acts like that's crazy, and I'm like, dude, that's what all teenagers are doing at 16. Like you don't have to be working on you're young. Take your time.
Line rather than doing what's most important, which is working on myself. And after some time, I was 16 years old and it just clicked for me. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm a man and I have this body on this earth that can be upgraded in so many ways. Physically, I can take my aesthetic and my strength to the next level. I can train my mind to be more focused, self-aware, and driven. Like, I have all this potential with my body, but I'm not achieving it. That was the big click for me. So I then started a workout routine and started training every single day. I had a very disciplined routine, and every single day after school, I would get home, have a quick bite, go straight to the gym and
And again, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as your entire self-worth as a man isn't put into how well this is.
train. And the reality of it is that you don't really take in the benefit of it until you actually do it and you see the results. So after a few months of doing this, I saw my body getting in shape. My mind was forming in a way where I was way more focused, way more disciplined, way more happy.
So you say that was because of you working out then, not the no-fap. Okay, remember this.
And I was seeing the result of actually improving myself, both physically
Sometimes I think he just wants to make videos so he can show us all him working out in the gym.
and mentally. And so 5 years later, at 21 years old, here I am still training every single day, still seeing the results, and still improving overall as a man. And what I realized by training and getting in shape is that my body has a potential, and I can achieve this potential by working on it. Now, by doing this with my body and seeing the results over time, it translated to every other aspect of my life. So I started applying that.
And it is true that if you do work on yourself, right, then that will happen. It's just, you shouldn't just be focused on working on your body.
Same mindset to my career, making more content, being more consistent with it, learning and improving in every way that I can, and then seeing the results from that. Seeing more people engage with me, being able to start my own businesses, being able to get my finances up as
Yes, your own businesses.
well. And all that started with the one spark that I got through training, because it's the perfect example for anything you do in your life. It's something that shows you that when you actually put in the effort, you do it consistently, and you work on yourself, you get results from it.
Again, not a bad message. Not a bad message to give to young people. Put in effort into something, do it consistently, work on yourself, try to be better, try to do better, and you'll eventually get results. It will play off into the other places in your life.
And so after doing that with working out and seeing, okay, I have this much potential with my physical performance, but yet I didn't achieve it. So let me work towards it, stay consistent, work out every single day, and boom, now I achieve this potential that my body can reach.
They have actually done studies that say that people that make goals for themselves, no matter in what in their life, and then achieve those goals, are a lot happier and do a lot better in life than those that do not.
So you realize, oh shit, if I put this towards a career that I want to do, if I do this towards a business, if I do this towards my mental well-being, the same rules apply. When you're passionate about something, you do it consistently, you will master it, and therefore you will get results from it. The reality is that most of you watching this right now.
Now, see, the issue comes in him saying it's just those 3 steps, right? Because it's not always as pretty from beginning to end like that. And the issue comes with when people are working on themselves like this, and then they maybe fail at something, and then they feel like, oh my God, I failed at something, now I'm a huge failure, and I'm going to be a failure for all of my life. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you can do this, just don't make it your entire life. Hello, practical imagination. I hope you're having a good day.
Have so much potential, but yet you haven't even seen a glimpse of what you can do. And
neither have you, sir, and you're already out here giving us advice. You're 22 years old. You've barely lived.
So if you feel like there's still so much more you can achieve, I recommend you start by working out. Over time, not only will you see your physical appearance.
And this is what I mean. So for this guy, working out worked for him, but again, for everyone, that's not the answer. If he was just giving this message as a general message about everything in your life, I might be down with it a bit more. But it always turns into, so then you have to work out, and then you gotta follow me, and then you gotta do my fitness shit.
Appearance change, but you'll also feel so much better because you put in the effort, you got the results from it, and at the same time other people start noticing it as well. They say, man, you got in shape so good, how did you do it? Good for you, I'm proud of you.
But see, the whole thing is that you shouldn't need that outside validation, right? You should also be working on yourself to get to a point where you're doing it for you and you don't need other people's validation. Unless you're running a fitness business, then you want other people to notice.
Most importantly, you'll be proud of yourself. It'll boost your confidence. It'll boost your mental well-being. And so now when you go out in public or you meet someone for the first time, you'll be able to talk with so much.
Yeah, as in women, because it's all about building yourself into being a gigachad and starting a career, because the end goal is always get woman. Instead of it just being for himself, it's always to lead up to get woman.
More confidence because you'll be sure of yourself. I think the biggest thing too is that you have one life and you only have one body throughout this life. Why waste your time not seeing what the capabilities of your body actually is? Because imagine this,
Now see, I believe with what he's saying with that, like you only have one body, one life, yeah, take care of it, but the rest is a little
right now watching this can run faster, jump higher, get stronger, become more confident, be in better shape, be more driven, be more dedicated, pursue something and get results from it.
But again, physical activity is not always what motivates people. That's what motivated you, right? That's what got you going. But for somebody else, it might be something else. It might be a different passion. What if they like painting instead? What would them then waking up and going to the gym do? You know what I mean?
Help others and overall become the best version of yourself. So ask yourself, why are you not doing it? I'm telling you, if you get in shape, it'll be the beginning of something massive for you. So start training, get in shape, because you have a limitless potential, but you're still not even achieving a glimpse of that yet.
Okay,
so go ahead and do it and see how much you can actually achieve. I want to share this with you because this is exactly a position that I was in 5 years ago. And I know how much better it made me feel physically, mentally, and in every.
You showing that picture of him at 16 like he doesn't look like every single 16-year-old.
Aspect of my life. So hopefully I gave you a little spark of inspiration.
You'd expect him to show us a gremlin, you know what I mean? And he's like, here, look at me. I was a normal 16-year-old. That's what all 16-year-olds look like, dude. And all men, most of them, go through their growth spurt around 16 and 17, where they just spout up. And then they can look a bit better because they're looking more like a man than a little boy. You know what I mean? That's the time that usually starts to happen. So it's funny to me that he's all like, this happened just because I worked on myself and I'm like this special, different species almost. And I'm like, no, like this is just growing up.
That you can now apply into your own life. Make sure to subscribe so that I can continue to be here along your journey, and I will see you in the next video.
So this is the video that you are met with when you go to his channel. This is the introduction video. And as I've been stating, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. When you come across that, you're like, hey, nothing really wrong with that. He's a little obsessed with working out and stuff. Yeah, but it's not the worst thing. And it's not. But then we get into videos like how to be more charismatic. Increase your attractiveness.
Someone that is attractive versus someone who isn't is Riz, or should I say charisma, because that's what it is. Charisma.
I guess all the young people are calling charisma Riz now. So If you ever hear people going, you got Riz, or you ain't got no Riz, I guess that's what it means. I was today years old when I found that out.
Charisma involves the perfect combination of confidence, charm, and social skills, which makes people gravitate towards you. The best part about charisma is that it's a trait that can be developed, meaning you can learn it. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how to go from being that antisocial, in your bubble person to the charismatic, outgoing person that attracts the people around them. Now,
that attracts the people around them, like the women's.
if you want to be charismatic, first you need to understand what charismatic people do. Number one,
the thing about charisma is it's not that much of a learned trait. You kind of have it or you don't have it. If you fake it, we're gonna notice.
one, they make others feel valued, comfortable, and engaged. Number two, they connect with people on an emotional level. And number three, most importantly, it's not something you force, it's someone you are. So now,
exactly. So therefore, no, you cannot teach someone it. Also, I always think it's really weird whenever people tell people to connect with people as a step to something. I feel like connecting with other people is something that either happens or doesn't happen. If you have to actively try to find a connection to these people, maybe they're just not your people, and that's cool. Move on. Hopefully they're not like the people I move on from, and they don't make 30 streams about you for 500 days afterwards, and then everyone can move on with life. It's just so weird to me, because it's like, you want me to go out there and connect with people? Well, what am I supposed to do to manipulate these people into connecting with me? It's weird.
now that we understand what being charismatic is, I'm going to tell you the 5 pillars to being charismatic, with the last one being the key to doing it all. But
I'm going to be honest with you, Pierre. I'm going to be honest. I don't really find you to be that charismatic. I know, that's going to be hard. I know, that's a hard blow. I'm sorry. I understand you're probably very, very upset at me for that. All right? I get it.
You need breath mints.
Sorry, okay? You don't have to be rude, okay? But I don't find you to be the most charismatic young man that I've come across. I think it's a little funny that you sat down and decided that you were the one to teach everybody how to be charismatic. Can we say ego? Ego, and not the one that 5D full disclosure. No, you have that ego.
start with number 1, being self-confident. This is the foundation of being charismatic, because
You with low self-esteem. Be more self-confident.
without being self-confident, you can't project it outwards, and other people will sense that from the way you act, the way you talk, and your body language. To extrapolate this, let's look at someone who is charismatic, Matt Rife, a comedian that blew up with over 20 million followers in the past.
Matt Rife is actually getting canceled right now for being a little misogynistic, but go off, Fat King, you go off.
Last year, and people fly from all over the country just to see him. So here's him doing his thing.
What are you afraid of, man? A bad hair day? You handsome piece of shit. What's your biggest fear?
The main traits you'll notice is that he speaks loud and clear, he has very open body language, and he says
That's the dude that we're going to be looking up to? You want young men? Why don't you just show him Andrew Tate next?
things that others might consider out of pocket because he doesn't care what others think about him.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ethan Ralph. He's a man. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
But he also listens to what the audience says and engages in a banter-like manner, showcasing both self-assuredness and attentiveness, which is the next part of being charismatic. Number 2, active listening. I want you to recall a time you were talking to someone and they were very self-centered, not paying attention to what you were saying.
Everyone that knows him is thinking of talking to him.
Everything was about them, and that's all they were talking about. Didn't you find that unattractive, and honestly you wanted to leave the conversation? And that's because
You mean kind of like how I find it unattractive when you're a 22-year-old male and you come on here to give advice to people as if you're 40 and you've lived a life that you could give advice to people? Kind of like that? Yeah, probably.
Because one of the biggest mistakes people do when it comes to attractiveness or being charismatic is that they think it needs to be all about them. You need to show yourself off to others. When in reality, that's not the case. In the contrary, you want to be genuinely interested in what the other person is saying.
But see, this is what I mean. You can't tell somebody to act genuine, okay? The second you're telling people to pretend to be genuine, now we're not genuine. You're either genuine or you're not. Like, it's not something that you can say, hey, you should be genuine, you know? Right away now. Right away, we're fucking this up. Hold hands and sing Kumbaya, my lord. He's trying to put me to sleep. Sorry, Joe, maybe I'm trying to put you to sleep. I learned not to worry about what people thought about me 20 years before he was born. Right? I just, like, that's my issue with this, though, is that a lot of these advice videos, they say things like this. Like, they're like, go off and be genuine. And I'm like, dude, you just told someone to fake being genuine, basically, to, like, consciously try to be genuine. That's not a thing. You can't consciously try to be genuine. Like, you either are in the moment and genuine or you're not, you know? I'm kind of like, you can't tell people to do this, though. Immediately fake, no matter what after that. I was hoping Wrestling Otaku would make a fitness video. That would be fun to react to.
Then engage with that, related to something personal, ask follow-up questions. A very good way you can practice.
Like, even like, yeah, to make it seem like you're listening, just ask follow-up questions. It's like, Lord, you know how you listen? You listen. You don't think about anything else. You don't plan what you're going to do in future. You don't listen to think of what you're going to say in response. You let all that go, and you just fucking listen. There's no steps to it.
This is next time you're in a conversation with somebody and they are talking, instead of thinking to yourself, what am I going to say next, and prepping for your response while they're still talking, which a lot of us do, especially when you have social anxiety. Just take the time to really listen to what the other person is saying and see if you agree with it, if you disagree with it, if you have something of value to add, if you relate to it.
See, but that's the thing, is that people with lower self-esteem are never going to feel like they have something of value to add. And people with higher self-esteem or a big ego are always going to think that they have something value to add. So saying it like that and giving it as advice like that doesn't really work either, right? Like, for the general public, dude's hair looks like broccoli. It does. I said, this is the better looking younger Roxo.
Doing this, you'll notice two things. Number one is that you'll enjoy the conversation a lot more because you're actually invested in it, which will rub off in the way you talk and the way you act.
How to fake being a good conversationalist.
And number two, you'll find it so much more easy and natural to respond. Because instead of overlooking what they're saying because you're fixated on what you're going to reply with, you're actively listening, then adding your input to what the other person said, which makes the conversation flow a lot better and makes it easier for you. Number three, having authenticity. When you're
again, just like with being genuine, you cannot, like, tell someone or teach someone authenticity. You can tell them to be authentic, but it's like, how do you be authentic? Like, you know what I mean? It's just the kind of thing that you either have or you don't.
Talking to someone, you can tell when they're putting on a facade and when they're faking their character, as opposed to when they're being genuine and authentic. And others can sense the same with you. Now, this can be hard at first because you're trying to be charismatic, but you're not charismatic, which can come off as you forcing it, which can result in you being unauthentic. But
that is exactly what's going to happen. That is exactly what you are setting up all of the young people for taking this advice. Very good.
But the line that sets it apart from someone who is forcing charisma versus someone who is charismatic is something that we call compassion, which studies have shown that compassion is one of the top traits for attractiveness. Now,
what? How weird. Right? Like, who would ever thought that?
As I mentioned, people that are charismatic connect with others on an emotional level, which creates that authenticity. So how can you do that? Well, the first
Again, so how do you fake that? It's like, well, we fucked this up already.
Step is that in any conversation, you want to understand how the other person feels by putting yourself in their shoes. And this will be shown by the way that you reply to them. So if you're charismatic, a few examples of good compassionate responses are, I get where you're coming from. I see what you mean. That's an interesting perspective.
If you say that, they're going to feel like they're talking to a therapist that checked out halfway through the conversation. So now they're just saying what they learned in school. Oh, well, why don't you tell me how that made you feel? You know, like, God, that was the most unauthentic ways that you could respond to somebody.
But being authentic doesn't mean you always have to kiss their shoes. It means you have to be true to yourself even when you disagree. So you could also say things like, I get that, but here's how I look at it. That's a good point, but here's why I disagree. These types of reply mixes.
Again, then you're going to sound like a fucking robot. And the person's going to feel like they're talking to AI. And probably not Ash Mufara's Al with heart. Al with no heart.
All 3 points that I mentioned up to date. Confidence, because you're not scared of saying whether you agree or disagree with them. Active listening, because you're starting off the reply by saying, yeah, I get what you mean, I get your opinion, I hear you, and then you're adding your input. And
see, that's always fake to me, though. Even when I was like learning how to do social work, and they told you to do that, like I could never do it. Because like that thing just sounds fake. If I can't relate, I'm not going to pretend like I can. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I'm going to ask them to explain it to me in a way that then maybe I could relate to it. But it's always like, thank you for telling me how you feel. And it's like, that's, all of that shit sounds fake.
Authenticity, because you're being your true self. Number 4, this is a very important one when it comes to being charismatic. It's letting go. You see, a lot of us care.
Yeah, of all this shit, let go of everything you just learned. Throw it all out the window.
So much about what other people think about us, including me, which is something I was very self-aware about and I worked on. This makes us be very restricted with our words and our banter. Things that you want to say that might be funny or informative, you might hold it back. What you need to
there's some people that probably should hold it back. I'm just saying. Sometimes some of the people you'd be talking to in the Andrew Tate world, a lot of them should probably shut up, actually. Maybe we do need more videos telling guys to shut up.
understand is that people are more fixated on themselves than on you. The same way when you're in a conversation with someone, you're focusing more on yourself than what the other person is saying. And the crazy part is
I think he's like assuming that, but again, that's not everyone.
everyone has some sort of charisma in them. We just don't all show it. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you left a conversation and regretted not saying what you were thinking? Our thoughts are our true selves. You might have some funny, informative, valuable thoughts, but you're simply restricting yourself from saying them because you care what other people think about you, which makes you not charismatic.
Or maybe you're just not rude. Like, you know, sometimes in these situations, it's like maybe what the person was going to say was going to not be charismatic. And it was going to be rude, or it was going to lead to an argument that we just didn't have to have in this moment, you know?
I definitely relate to this. I've left conversations before thinking to myself, damn, I should have said this. I had this funny thing to say. I had this informative thing to say. Why didn't I say this? But you're thinking it for a reason, and it's a good thought. So let go and say it. And people will probably have a good reaction to it. And if they don't, who cares? They'll forget about it. And lastly, the key to allow you.
People generally don't like me when I speak my mind either. But that's okay. I just do it louder and louder, and then they choose to listen, or they get very mad. I don't want to get fired. See, and that's what I mean. Like, there's certain situations, right, where you do gotta hold your tongue. And it's not about self-esteem or not having charisma. It's about not being rude and being respectful and knowing your place, which you should also do in life and in society. So it's like, advice like this that's so general is always kind of scary for that. Because it's like, yeah, somebody out there right now is going to take this advice and they're going to go and say that thing that they shouldn't have said at the time they shouldn't have said it, just because they're going to have Pierre over here, Pierre Dalati, in their head going, don't hold back, make sure you say it. You don't want to be thinking later, damn, I wish I had said that.
To do it all, the key to allow you to practice charisma is to flirt with the world. You see, you can't just be charismatic in some settings when you want to be.
when you think that charisma is just being flirtatious?
Okay, I'm only gonna be charismatic when I'm talking to a girl. I'm only gonna be charismatic when I'm talking to my friend. No, because in that case, you would be forcing it. Instead, charisma needs to be someone you are. You are a charismatic person. So
But what if they're not? Some people just aren't.
how do you do this? What does flirting with the world mean? Well, you're ordering a coffee, have a little chit chat with the barista. You're waiting for the
Oh my god. Don't do this. All the baristas in the world right now are cursing you, Pierre. They're cursing you. They're like, why the fuck would you tell them to do that? Do you know how many times I already get hit on in a day? I do not need more men in here trying to flirt. That's an awful idea. Don't go around there just flirting with. You don't have to flirt to have charisma. That's not what it is. We live in the era of false prophets, case in point, right?
bus and the girl beside you has nice
God,
hair, let her know. Just basically practicing to talk and flirt with the world. Everywhere you go, whatever you do, the thoughts that you have, just say them, interact with people, joke with people. It's the same way if you ask me, Pierre.
Get a coffee dumped on your head for being disrespectful to the girl that you were trying to pick up at Timmy's, okay? Just no, don't do that.
How do I get bigger muscles? I would say, well, you train your muscles consistently. So now if you ask me, Pierre, how do I be charismatic? Well, you train yourself to be charismatic consistently. Make sure to like this video so you can come back to it whenever you need, whenever you want to be charismatic. Subscribe and turn those post notifications on so you never miss a video from me. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Woo! And then he does that hand thing that all the kids are doing now. I guess when you end a video, you're supposed to hit the person in the face with your palm. I don't know, but that's the thing. So, as you're hearing, he has a lot of advice for, how to get women is basically all it is. All of that charisma shit was just a lead up to him telling everyone to flirt with everyone. Charisma's not flirting. And then we get to the video that I know you're all waiting for. Because I know that that's what you're here for. I did no fap for a year. Here's what happened.
For a whole year, and I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the most honest video you will see on this topic, because
So it will be a video saying this doesn't work. It's pseudoscience bullshit, and I'm gonna go fap right now. Right? That's what I'll be saying, and then you're gonna leave and you're gonna go fap. Right? Right?
there's a lot of videos out there where people are telling you all these benefits, such as increased focus, massive energy boost, increased testosterone, etc. And yes, there are a lot of benefits, but I feel
Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down there, misinformation man. There are not a lot of benefits. But whatever.
a lot of people stretch it too much. So I'm going to tell you my in-depth opinion on it, and at the end of the video, I'll tell you if you should do it or if you shouldn't. This channel,
if you should do no fap or not do no fap. See, right now it is November. We are well into November. A lot of the men like to do something called No Nut November. And this is a way for men to actually raise awareness about testicular cancer, male mental health issues, domestic violence against men, all of the things that men are not allowed to spread awareness about any other time of the year. Right? I'm all for it for that. That makes perfect sense to me. All right, I get it. You're doing some stuff for testicular cancer. All right, yeah, okay. No fap makes sense, right? Because that's what it technically originated from, the whole No Nut November thing. It was all about testicular cancer. So, hence the no fapping, right? And then it branched out, and a lot of other men who maybe, they couldn't raise awareness about testicular cancer or something, maybe they didn't relate, they decided to also do it for other causes, usually for men. For that, It's good because it raises awareness. It's a movement. And a lot of times the people that are doing it will also raise money for agencies that are involved, okay? Or like cancer research for testicular cancer, or a men's mental health agency, which we lack in all countries at the moment. If a man leaves a domestic violence relationship, there is no shelter for men leaving domestic violence. Thousands for women, specifically for that. Men are made to go to a normal male homeless shelter where they are further traumatized. It's not a very fun experience to be in a shelter, okay? And I'm sorry, but the ones with the homeless people are scarier than any of the other ones, all right? So we need to raise awareness about some men right issues. It's just, unfortunately, in society, they go, excuse me, we've been listening to the cisgendered white men enough out here. They need to all shut up, and they don't need any help. They're the abusers, not the abused. And they don't realize that if they actually put as much work into it with men, maybe it would help solve a lot of the issues. All that is all fine and dandy. There is no scientific or medical evidence whatsoever that not fapping is good for you in any way, shape, or form. It's not supposed to be done for health benefits, okay? Even like if you're doing it to raise awareness about testicular cancer, you're not doing it for like a health benefit. It's not like if you get testicular cancer and then you don't masturbate, it will disappear or some shit, okay? That's not a thing. So what the fuck, dude?
Channel is all about me being honest with you and transparent. This way I can help you out in every way possible through my own experience. So make sure to subscribe, turn those post notifications on so you know exactly when I upload, and let's get right into it. So I want to start by saying it's not the actual fapping that's bad, it's the P. Because by constantly watching this, you're training your mind to get
a lot of men do not need porn to fap. I am just going to say it. What about those ones? Are they free to fap all they want as long as they're not looking at the P?
used to such an unrealistic situation. You know, like you're looking at one sexual performance. Oh, I don't like this one. Next. I don't like this one. Next. I don't like this one.
Well, we all know how he watches it now.
Within 20 seconds, you're switching through 5 to 8 different sexual performances. And that is the messed up part of it, because you're giving yourself such a dopamine rush every single day in such a short period of time. That translates to your everyday life. The way
Okay, but here's the thing. I gotta be honest with you, Pierre. Men are getting more hits off of just being on social media than they are off of watching porn of dopamine. Being on social media and getting likes and getting attention and all of that good stuff gives you the exact same dopamine as watching porn does. There's not like a different kind. It's the same. So are you going to tell them all to get off social media and not be entrepreneurs then?
you talk to girls, the way you approach girls, because you're so used to this unrealistic approach, and because you're doing it every single day, that becomes your normal. And so by stopping the P, I found that my mind was so much more clear, and I did notice a benefit of increased focus. So
basically, you're not putting porn in front of your face all the time so you can focus on the other things in front of you? Wow, that's amazing. What a discovery.
Instead of constantly being distracted and having it on my mind, whatever I was doing in the moment, I was able to put my full attention and energy into it. Whether I was doing work and sitting at my desk for 2 to 3
If you can't go off and do something else without thinking about porn, then yes, you may have a porn addiction, and not fapping is not going to help you. Do seek therapy, though.
3 hours focusing on editing a video, whether I was working out in a gym, whatever I was doing in the moment, my focus was enhanced. And I also noticed a boost in confidence, because instead of every single day inputting this unrealistic approach through P, I was living my life the way I should be living it, without having extreme dopamine rushes every.
He's like, yeah, instead of banging my girl doggy style that night, we did it missionary because I didn't watch porn. It was great, living in the real world.
Every single day. And so when talking to others, when talking to girls, I felt so much more confident. I felt so much more like myself, and my approach to situations were.
Well, were you like trying to talk to girls like they talk to them in the porn? Because that's scripted. You know that, right? That's like, okay, guy delivers pizza. If a girl ever goes to the door naked, he's going to call the cops. He's not going to say, "Why, hi, baby, you're going to invite me in for a slice," like they do in the porn, okay? No, don't talk to people like they talk in porn.
So much more realistic because I wasn't constantly consuming this content. Now, when it comes to the actual fact,
Sounds like the issue here is your expectation on sex with a woman being like the porn instead of how it actually is, and your expectation in terms of talking to real women versus scripted conversations. Not with fapping.
fapping part, I don't believe that fapping is bad, but anything in excess is bad. But I'll get into that in a little bit. So when I stopped, it was the first 2 weeks that is the hardest because your drive is through the roof. You're constantly getting the urge to want to fap because you're going from constantly getting a dopamine rush to all of a sudden stopping. And so for the first 2 weeks, it was definitely a challenge. But once you pass that 2-week mark,
Again, it's the way that these guys look at it, it's like it's this uncontrollable urge. Like, you have to fap and you have to watch porn. Me, man. Me not do nothing, but me watch porn. Me fap. Me must learn how to have. like I don't understand. You're not a caveman, okay? Like, it shouldn't be this much of a problem. Regular, everyday dudes do not have this as this much of a problem.
that's when benefits kick in and you settle down. So you don't get the insane urge anymore,
Okay.
and therefore there's a lot of benefits that came with that. So the first benefit, and this is a common benefit that a lot of people mentioned, and I definitely noticed it myself, was increased energy. I mean, it makes sense.
Because you're not tired from fapping?
When you're fapping every single day, you're constantly giving yourself this dopamine rush, and once you're done, you feel tired. And so after I stopped fapping, I felt that I had so much more energy in me to do things productive throughout the day. I wouldn't
That would make sense, you know? You don't want to exhaust yourself. Mind you, you could just change it. Instead of fapping first thing in the morning and exhausting yourself before, you start the day, do it at the end of the day before bed. You're welcome, men of the world.
feel slouched, I wouldn't feel lazy. I would feel so driven to want to do things every single day.
How
Whether
it's
that
for
was
you,
doing
April.
work and editing videos, whether that was working out, whether that was going out with friends. What I also noticed is increased mental clarity. Because like I said, when you're fapping every single day and you're constantly giving yourself this dopamine rush, before doing it, it's on your mind.
Again, same dopamine rush you get when you post these videos to YouTube, my man.
And then you want to do it. And after you do it, you crash and you feel tired. And so doing that every single day makes your
Do all guys crash and feel tired after that? I don't know if they do. I'm just saying. I've had a lot of morning sex. It gives my husband energy to have sex. So I don't understand. I'm sorry. I can't relate to this. My husband is the opposite. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna wake up, we're gonna bang, and then we're gonna go do 50 things today. Like he's the exact opposite with that. So I don't know, but I feel like that's not like all men. And that's the other thing about this, like, culture of this type of guru, okay? This man coach type. I'm gonna coach you on how to be a real man. These guys, is that there's only one type of man to them, right? It's like the alpha male gigachad is the only type of man that exists. There is no other type of man. So all men, all right, wake up, fap, and then they want to go back to bed because it makes them all tired. And I'm like, that's not probably a thing, I think it's like eating turkey. You need a nap afterwards.
mind less clear. And so throughout this year of not doing it at all, because I got rid of that urge, my mind really felt more like just relieved overall. I mean, it makes complete sense because when you have an urge to do something, it's so hard to think of anything else in that moment. And especially if that
But if you already fapped, see, I feel like this would be the opposite. Like, if the guy wanted to fap and then he's trying not to fap, so he tries to go do other things, all he's going to think about is fapping, right? It's like when someone says, don't think about this, and then you're literally just going to be thinking like fap, 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 right? Whereas if you want to fap and then you just like go and then you can go on with your day. Like, I'm like, wouldn't that be the opposite? Like once you get it done and over with, then you can do whatever else you need to do? Or is that just my husband again? I need to know.
Urge is something that you get every single day. So that was a benefit that I really enjoyed.
Is it? I don't know. I guess men and women get the urge to sex every day. I don't know. I'm a woman. We have days where we full on forget. And then it's nighttime, and the husband's like, hey, we haven't yet today. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of tired. Like, life of a wife.
It a lot because they translated
I just, let me know.
to my everyday life with anything that I was doing. I would feel less distracted and more aware. Now, after a whole year of no fapping, here is the thing. Pee is bad. There's no question about it. This is bad for you. Because like I said, it creates that unrealistic approach for you.
Again, I don't think it's bad. I know, I'm one of those weird people where I don't like OnlyFans girls and I don't really like the people that make porn. But I mean, if it is made and people are watching it, I don't think it's necessarily bad either. Like, what if you're watching it with your spouse and then you're doing the deed together or something? Like, there's things porn can be good for, I'm sure. But again, it's like anything that you do in excess is going to lead to problems, like he said, right? It's like alcohol. All right, most of us can have a drink at dinner and then we can stop. But if you're an alcoholic and you go to have a drink at dinner, you're not going to be able to stop. And then you're going to be drunk by the end of the evening. So then you'd have to watch yourself. And you'd have to tell yourself, don't get that drink at dinner. You're not going to be able to stop. And it's kind of the same thing with porn, right? Or like anything else. So like, I don't know.
It constantly gives you a dopamine rush. It's not good for you. But fapping, if done in moderation, is fine. I feel like if you do it strictly by just listening to your body, like, okay, after a few days, you're getting an urge of doing it. You do it, you go about your day, you don't do it for another week, and you simply just go about it, listening to your body and doing it when you really feel like doing it. That's what I find.
Because see, like, the thing is, sex is a basic need. It is on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So, is it necessarily bad to have a sex drive where you would need to like fap even daily? I don't know. I don't think it is.
It's okay because you're doing it in moderation and you're not overdoing it, constantly getting a dopamine rush. Also, as far as testosterone goes, I know a lot of people say when you do no fap,
I think it's funny he showed cherries for that. He must have real low balls.
Testosterone increase. Now, I didn't actually measure my testosterone level, so I can't really tell you firsthand if it went up, down, stayed neutral. I don't know. But what I can say is that the effects and the benefits I noticed are similar to increased testosterone.
You'll notice that, yes, his shorts are just bits of his long videos.
Which is increased energy, increased focus, increased mental.
All right, so he's saying increased energy, increased productivity, increased clarity, increased focus, better mental health, better physical health.
Clarity, increased productivity. And also when I was working out, I was able to do so many more reps and work out for so much longer than I would before. So yeah, maybe it did increase my testosterone. So to answer the big question, should you try no fap? The answer is definitely yes. I think it's definitely a good experience for everyone to try. Because like I said, when you're doing it every single day, fapping and looking at the pee, you're constantly getting the urge, you're constantly getting this dopamine rush, and this becomes your new norm. And so
But again, same dopamine rush when you're on social media. And you're not doing videos telling people to get the fuck off social media because you need them to be on social media to watch your videos, sign up for your fitness shit, and your other social media business.
Stopping it all around, it gives you a new perspective on a day-to-day basis. And with the benefits of increased energy, mental clarity, increased productivity, you'll find that you're actually doing a lot more in your day that you weren't doing before. Like me personally, I found so much more.
Man, how long does it take to vap? Like 10 minutes? What more could you be doing in 10 minutes, for fuck's sake?
Time and so much more motivation to work on my craft, which was content creation, editing videos, etc. As a result of that, I ended up growing really well and things were working for me. And so for you, it's good to
I think you might have used your media company and bought some followers. That's just me, though.
experience that contrast, stopping it all around for a month, 2 months, or even a year like I did, just to get that new perspective and actually see the benefits firsthand. So that is my honest review on NoFap after doing it for a whole year. Like I said, I just want to be honest and transparent with you guys on this.
You know, I don't know if you were honest and transparent. I felt like I was watching an ad for the NoFap movement. Not like I was watching like an actual review of not fapping for a year, you know? I feel like that would have more struggle in it and honesty about how hard it was.
Channel this way I can continue to help you guys out in any way
Not how hard it was. Stop it with the grossness.
possible through
I
my
know what
own
you
personal
thinking.
experiences. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and turn those post notifications on so you know exactly.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yes, we all know you're promoting. So his whole thing is that he did NoFap for a year, and he does often promote this. So we're going to take a short, teeny tiny break, and then I think we should talk about the benefits or lack thereof in NoFap, and then we're going to have a little talk about toxic masculinity. But for now, everyone, take a fat break. Sorry, guys. I know that last one doesn't do it for ya. There's a great article that was just released magically. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better time for this to be released. That actually talks about nofap. That's right. Why nofap is total bullshit according to a urologist. That's who you should listen to. All right? So they say every fall, America becomes a nation of hairy, sexually frustrated men thanks to two notable challenges: No Shave November and No Nut November, which, anyway, by December 1st, most men emerge clean shaven and presumably out of lotion. And for men who embrace nofap, shutting masturbation isn't a once-a-year battle of wills. It's a way to boost their testosterone, self-confidence, and improve their relationships. At least that's what they believe, but they're sorely mistaken. If you are new to the whole nofap thing, it is an entire movement. We have gone through a lot of the websites. We've talked about Monty's stories of the internet here on my channel and his whole nofap movement bullshit from Girl World. We've discussed all of the incel Reddits and their whole incel.is website, which also promotes nofap on it quite often. So just know that there is an entire group of Andrew Tate lovers out here, usually of the alt-right variety, that thinks that if they do this nofap movement, it will basically save their lives. All right? And it says here, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a more self-actualized version of yourself, and compulsive sexual behaviors can negatively affect your job, your relationships, and your health. And that's the urologist Joshua Calvert. He's an MD. It's a man. Listen to him, okay? But what many nofap proponents are really talking about is semen retention, or not ejaculating for extended periods of time, for purported health benefits, including boosting testosterone levels. So the nofap movement at a glance. Nofap is a movement where men abstain from masturbation, supposedly to gain physical, mental, and emotional benefits. They all believe that not masturbating can help them recover from porn addiction and from compulsive sexual behaviors. And many, like the young sir we are talking about today, Pierre Dalati, they believe that this is a step to real manlyhood. Like getting control of this quote-unquote problem of fapping is a way to truly become a man. All right? Those who believe in this claim that there's many physical and mental health benefits, including, but not limited to, enhanced stamina, reduced stress and anxiety, and increased testosterone. Okay? So the purported mental health benefits, according to those in the movement, is increased happiness, higher confidence and self-esteem, increased motivation and willpower, reduced stress and anxiety, and of course depression, right? Stronger spirituality. There's a whole group of these guys that are very into the Christian community as well. They're very interesting. We will be covering them in future. And they actually believe that nofap brings them closer to God. It's a lot of fun. It also apparently will give you more self-acceptance, and it will give you an improved attitude and appreciation towards other sexes, which most in this sphere only care about not because they love women and they want to treat women better, but because they want to get in their pants more. So, the goal is always to get laid, not to be respectful men to women to get the woman. The alleged physical health benefits are increased energy levels, better physical performance and stamina, as in the bedroom, They think that it will make them last longer, when it's actually the opposite. They've actually have done tests that prove that the more you masturbate, the longer you can actually last. So I'm not really sure like where they get that from. Anyway, muscle growth. Yep. Both your physical muscles and the one in your pants can allegedly grow, depending on who you're talking to. Improved or cured erectile dysfunction. That's right, it's apparently medicine. Increased sperm count and quality, which is one of the biggest myths about fapping. A lot of people in this sphere seem to believe that if they let out a lot of their seed, they won't be able to form the proper seeds in order to make baby in future, for example. So they think they have to hold on to the seeds. Men are made so that they can release as many all over the fucking place and have as many babies as they want, though. Trust me, you can release all the seeds and you won't run out. But they believe that they have to hold on to them. They also believe that not fapping improves your sleep quality, which I'm sure a lot of you dudes out there that need to fap before bed are probably like, yeah, okay, bruh, I need to get that out before I sleep, but whatever. And then more focus and concentration. Mainly like during the day, they claim that they have all this great mental focus and they can concentrate on all of their tasks better, right? But it says here that from a scientific standpoint, and I've said this a bazillion times, I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep bringing up every single study that they do on this until the day that my channel gets stricken down, okay? There isn't much evidence to support any of these no-fap benefit claims, especially those related to the impact on the male sex hormone. Okay? There are very few studies available to suggest any benefit from not ejaculating. The studies that are available are small and old, and usually done by people who benefit from the movement, just like how the people that say the earth is flat are often people that are selling books about how the earth is flat. So they want you to believe it and buy their books. It's money grabs, right? And it's very much the same thing with a lot of these studies. And they don't suggest that lack of ejaculation is a real benefit to men. When talking about testosterone, fapstronauts, which is what they call themselves, by the way, people in the no-fap movement are now calling themselves fapstronauts. I guess that's been a thing. I wouldn't want to end up in that NASA or Jesus. Just swimming with all their swimmers. Often cite a 2002 study, okay? This is the one that they always are going to, that found that men who didn't masturbate for a week got a 45% boost in testosterone on the 7th day. What the study leaves out, though, when they're talking about it, is that the study was very small. There was only 28 men involved, and the day after their testosterone spiked, most of the men's levels went right back to normal. They actually have, as I've stated, done studies. I've stated this in the past. I don't remember if I said that in this video, but they have actually found studies that masturbation is what actually can help increase your testosterone levels. So it's funny because a lot of the things that these fapstronauts, these no-fappers say, it's actually the opposite. Masturbating actually helps you. And they've proven that masturbation can help your sperm count, not take it away. Like, you know what I mean? Another supposed benefit of skipping self-pleasure is that it created healthier sperm. Here it is. But the research isn't conclusive there. One 2018 study found that abstaining from masturbation for 24 hours led to improved sperm motility if you're trying to make a baby. But other research found that while abstaining for 1 day increased the sperm motility, not ejaculating for any longer than that actually causes sperm motility to decline. If you ever planned a baby, like I have, I planned my daughter with my husband, and they'll say to you, don't have sex for the 24 hours where she's ovulating and then you guys want to do it to make the baby. But then they'll also say, but don't like abstain for longer than 24 hours because of this study. Because they found that if you abstain for longer than 24 hours, it can actually have that opposite effect. But they do suggest if you are making a baby, all right, and she's ovulating, for the man to maybe not ejaculate for the 24 hours before they have that sex. But like I said, anything more than that, it can have the opposite effect, which most people are not willing to take if they're making a baby. So there you have it. They say that there's actually plenty of evidence that ejaculation is good for you. They say that science hasn't shown that any of the so-called benefits of abstaining from fapping, including boosting testosterone levels and increasing sperm motility, are legitimate. Now let's talk about the actual health benefits of fapping. If you fap, it will actually improve your heart health. Men who had sex just once a month or less were 45% more likely to die of cardiovascular disease than men who had 2 or more orgasms per week, according to 2010 research. You can even have more body confidence. A 2018 Tenga Global Self-Pleasure Report found that 63% of men who masturbated reported they had more self and body confidence than the men who didn't. They also learn their body better. They tend to know their bodies more, so that will give them the confidence. Better sleep. I'm sure that there's men listening to this right now that are like, that's the one. That's the one I was thinking of. Because the no fappers say you sleep better if you don't fap. I've talked to a lot of men that fap before bed. Okay? And it's a thing that a lot of men like to fap before bed or when they first wake up because it's a stress release for men, more so than women. Men do it also for a stress release. So, most of the men I've talked to about fapping, unfortunately, I've done research for this. They say the best time is before bed because it helps them sleep. And it actually says here that people who masturbate report taking less time to fall asleep, and their sleep quality is better too, and that's according to a 2019 study. It can also allegedly reduce prostate cancer risk, and this is a big one. I think that one's important. We need to talk about that. That's probably a good thing to promote if you're anti-no-fap movement, like I seem to be. Maybe I've created this anti-no-fap movement community. It's like just me and my community here. But let's talk about it. One study noted that men who ejaculated 21 times per month were 50% less likely to develop prostate cancer than men who only ejaculated 4 to 7 times per month. So if you love your man, ladies, you know what to do to keep that prostate cancer away. There are actually no risk to not masturbating. Like, it won't really cause you pain or harm or anything. But according to this urologist, they say, in my opinion, the only reason why someone would engage in No Nut November or no fap is because of ingrained familial or societal guilt associated with the practice. In other words, if you feel guilty about masturbating, you could get some personal satisfaction from overcoming the urge to do it. Right? So, keep the sadness away and go and fap today. I think it could be a motto for something. Who knows? All right? Studies show that no fap increases testosterone are small and have been discounted by most researchers. So they're not even taken as serious studies. And masturbation actually has plenty of documented benefits. Okay? So that's what they say. Now, in this study, I do have an issue because I don't think that it's masturbating that someone can be addicted to necessarily, but there is proof that sex addiction exists. I just am not sure if you would need to do nofap unless you were proven to have a severe sex addiction. It would be like going on methadone when you don't have an opioid addiction. Why do that to yourself? And that's kind of my belief. Like, they say things like, if masturbation is getting in the way of your everyday activities because you can't go out and go to work and like have friends and do anything because you're just at home masturbating, then obviously it's a problem like anything else. Same with porn. Like, if you're at a kid's birthday party and you need to like look at porn or something, you got a problem. Place and time, like, just learn to do it in the privacy of your own home and at the right time, like in the morning or before bed. Because masturbation, although it's not recognized as an addiction by the American Psychological Association or the DSM-5, sex addiction has always kind of been something that everyone has recognized is similar to gambling addiction. Like very similar to gambling addictions. So I don't want to discredit that. I do think that you can have an addiction to porn and an addiction to masturbation. I just do not feel like most of the people that are in this no fap movement have that addiction and need to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? So why fix something that's not broken? That's kind of where I come up with that. If you don't have these addictions to the point where it's actually fucking up other things in your life, don't worry about it. And then just go and fap. I know, everyone's always like, Queen, why do you care so much? Why do you care so much about these young people and the fapping and blah, blah, blah? Listen, I have a daughter. I care about the future generation of young men because those are the men that will one day be dating my daughter. And I do not want the men that are one day going to be dating my daughter to be watching people like Pierre Dalati, okay? And to be in his fitness and to be taking his really bad advice out there and that kind of thing. We have to think of the youth. We also have to think of society and how they already view men and the stigmas that are attached with that. I'm a strong believer in ending all stigma of all different kinds for all groups. If you have not noticed, hi, yes, I do it often. Stigma is something that bothers me. And I believe so strongly when it comes to men as well. Like the stigma that men are just these uncontrolled creatures that like need sex and it's constantly controlling their brains. It's like, no, that's not a real thing. Calm down. It's not the case for everyone. And I feel like this whole culture over here with the no fap movement and all these Andrew Tate wannabe kids that are coming out here and they all want to be like relationship coaches and like men's life coaching. I guess that's what we can call it, like men's life coaching gurus. These dudes, they all actually do a lot of toxic masculinity, all right? A lot of people don't understand that toxic masculinity is actually what hurts men. It is not like when a guy like yells at somebody and then a girl goes, "Oh my god, you have toxic masculinity." No, sweetie, you're dumb and you don't know what it means. Toxic masculinity is actually when men are pushed to be a certain way by society, right? And to act a certain way, like to be very tough, to never cry and show emotion, things like showing physical aggression is manly instead of just being like psycho, things like this, exhibiting anti-feminist behavior or being a violent, dominant person, okay? And I feel like this sort of thing can actually have a really bad impact on society, okay? I found an article that semi-outlines some of the similar issues to what I usually ramble about at the end of all these streams and videos. It says, Toxic masculinity definitely has effects on individuals. It can also have larger societal effects. And this is why I don't think that anyone should be supporting this, like, men coaching culture, okay? Or whatever you want to call it, because it's going to do this. Toxic masculinity ideology tends to treat cisgender women as sexual conquests, contributing to ongoing issues like the whole rape culture and that whole debate, okay? This refers to the tendency to remove blame from sexual assailants and place it on the victim. Boys will be boys might sound harmless when it comes to kids roughhousing on the playground, but it can evolve into excuses for violent behavior or not respecting boundaries. Similarly, right, I don't think that men should be taught that their whole life should be all about getting a woman or being desirable to women. Just like I don't believe that women should be taught that life is about making themselves desirable to men and that their whole life goal is to just be a wife and make babies. I believe the same of men. Their whole life goal should not to be like the
I can't help but be desirable.
to be like the best, most desirable husband, protector. The one that finances the home is often put on the man. And honestly, right now, women are oftentimes making more money than men. So we've created this weird world where women are oftentimes making more money than men, but then we've taught men that if they're making less money than women, they suck. They're not a real man. But then we want feminism and we want to go be CEOs out here. So it's like, which one, you know? I don't think that we should be placing these like societal things and stigmas on men, if you understand what I'm saying. Toxic masculinity also teaches men and masculine folks that aggression and violence are key to solving problems unless you want to appear weak. And today, we got that in the working out shit. Okay? This whole like, in order to be a real man, you gotta be tough and you gotta go to the gym and you gotta have these big muscles that show veins. Which, by the way, I hate men with big muscles because it shows veins. I think veins are disgusting. And if I can see a vein, I want to puke. So I never dated the gym bros. If I was near a dude that wanted to date me growing up and he went to the gym, I was like, no thanks, I'm good. I'd rather a guy with a dad belly than the guy that's going to the gym. Maybe that's just me. But that whole like telling men that they have to be that person. Not all men are that person, you know, and that's fine. There's time. I don't like those guys, as I just stated. So please don't turn all the men into them. I would have had an awful time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are women that like the poetic type of man that would never go anywhere near a gym, maybe. And that's fine. To put it out there that men have to be working out and working on their physical strength in some way in order to like achieve manlyhood or get a woman, it's just a really bad thing that we should be putting on men, okay? Let's not do that to our youth. Let's teach them better. And then if we teach them that, it'll be a lot easier to teach them not to be violent, right? Because oftentimes aggression, violence, dominance are seen as male traits, which I don't think they should be. I'm a pretty dominant, aggressive female, if you ask me. Or I'm just saying. It says here that those that don't display traits of toxic masculinity end up being affected by these societal issues, and by those that do accept these traits, like Pierre Dalati, is sitting here with an entire YouTube channel, a TikTok channel, and an Instagram channel with millions of subscribers on it, okay? Promoting that that's how it should be. So then men that aren't like that end up isolating themselves. That can lead to bigger problems down the line, like more social anxiety, more depression, and all of that for men. Which, when you think about it, it's kind of weird. that we would be doing things that would make men more depressed and all that kind of thing during a month where it's supposed to be No Nut November, and part of that is spreading awareness about men's mental health. Maybe it's just me, but I just think it's a weird thing. So, if you're doing No Nut November and you're a man out there and you're doing it to spread awareness for testicular cancer and all that kind of good stuff, good for you. I support you. Please do more of that. Could we have, like, I don't know, think of another name. No Semen September or something? Like, I don't know. Let's do more advocating for things for men. All right? But if you're a man and you are doing this whole like no fap movement thing because you're a fapstronaut and you think it's gonna give you more testosterone, give you more energy, make you more desirable to women, and you are a man and you're kind of like falling in that whole like awful hustle man guru coaching culture, you don't have to do all that. Please stop it. Don't do that. Don't teach the youth that they have to be a toxic masculinity male in order to be a real man out here, because that's not a thing. And honestly, it is absolutely a-okay to watch porn and to fap. And that is why I think that people like Pierre Dalati are dangerous. Apart from the fact he's running this weird social media business that I'm pretty sure is just buying subs for people and followers. Apart from the fact he's doing that whole fitness thing where he's charging way up the ass for these packages, I think that the no fap movement is bad, and mainly for men. All right? It's bad for the men. And I think that whole man guru coaching culture, that whole thing should just be thrown out. If you see one of those dudes and you're a young dude out there, don't follow him. He's giving you awful advice, this Pierre dude. He's 22 himself. He's hardly lived. All right? I wish that some of them would just wait. I understand that it's better to be an influencer when you're young and you still think you look hot. And maybe when you're in your 30s, you don't look as hot, so it's harder to be an influencer, but you have more life experience to give. And it doesn't sound as silly when you're giving advice. A lot of the people in my chat were like, who is the baby trying to give us advice today? Okay, I could be his dad. I'm old enough to be his dad. What's he doing? And yeah, sure, he's talking to the youth, but I just don't think that whole culture is one that the youth should be okay with, or one that we should allow to foster here in our society. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my whole 2.5 hour essay showing you who Pierre Dalati is, his sucky businesses, his sucky videos, his sucky advice, and what he promotes out here, which is basically just like toxic masculinity to all the young men of the world, and why this whole movement and this toxic masculinity shit sucks. And we should all be speaking out about it as often as possible. So stay tuned, because every couple, like 2 to 3 weeks on my channel, I usually cover a topic very similar to this, where I usually go and I find us a no-fap king. I will find us someone in the no-fap movement, or one of these male gurus, the bro bots, okay, that are doing these awful coaching programs, and we talk about it, and we talk about their businesses, and I show you that they're all hoopla and based on hoopla pseudoscience, and then we talk about the dangers and why this all needs to stop, and hopefully one day all of this will stop. I hope all of you have an amazing, fabulous rest of your day, your evening, whatever time it is where you are. I hope that you all enjoy it. And don't forget to fap. And no matter where you are, what you're doing, have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your night. And I'll see you all very, very soon with another one. As I stated, I will not be here or online much tomorrow at all at plans. But Thursday, we should be doing something with 5D full disclosure. So stay tuned for that. I should have it up by the end of the day. Mwah. Bye! And remember, once again, it's okay to fat, boys.